the second part of chapter Breathing and Exchange of Gases, plus one class biology. In the previous part one, we have already covered about the difference between breathing and respiration and the type of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. And then at the end of the first part, we cover about the various structure that help in the breathing in different type of organism. Means in simpler organism there are different pattern of breathing, and in complex organism there are different pattern of breathing, and different type of organs are present. So in the second part, we will cover about the human respiratory system, which is the important topic of this chapter also. And today we will cover there are mainly four parts: the nose part of human respiratory system, the pharynx part, the larynx part, and the trachea part. So these are the some content of this second part. So let's start with our human respiratory system. So in a human respiratory system, there are different components are given and labeled here in the figure. Just recall these words. This is nasal cavity, this is oral cavity, this area is pharynx, and below pharynx there is larynx portion is given, and in larynx vocal cords are given, epiglottis, yes, this is epiglottis. Then lower to the larynx part, trachea is present. Trachea is known as windpipe, and this trachea will bifurcate. This windpipe will bifurcate at the end of you can say this tube, and this bifurcation will enter into the lungs. Lung has two parts: left lung and right lung. Means lungs are of two, right lung and left lung. And in the lung you can easily see in right portion this is upper lobe, this is middle portion, and this is lower portion. And here in the left portion, upper lobe, lower lobe, only two lobes are there. Means in left two lobes are there, and in right three lobes are there. And in between the two lungs there is a space known as mediastinum where heart is located. So these are some components of respiratory pathway. Just have the names. Respiratory pathway include nostril, nasal chamber, then pharynx, then larynx, then trachea, bronchi, bronchiole, alveoli, and at the end main respiratory organ known as lungs. So let's start with nostril. Here nose is given, and opening of nose is known as nostrils. These are two in number, nostrils. So you can see here written here, nostrils are the external opening of nose. They are also called as external nares, and similarly an internal opening is also present. Means external openings are known as external nares. Similarly internal openings are also there, known as internal nares. Internal nares. And this external layer open inside the nasal cavity or nasal chamber. Nasal chamber, the space between internal layer and external layer is known as nasal chamber. Means the space between this external portion and internal layer is known as nasal chamber. This is the nasal chamber portion. Internally each one is lined with mucous membrane. Means nasal chamber contains mucous membrane, and in nasal chamber ciliated epithelium is also present. Ciliated epithelium means this epithelium contains cilia like structure. It is divided into right and left part by a cartilage known as mesentymoid. This is the nasal septum. This is known as nasal septum. Nasal septum divide the nasal chamber into two portion, and the name of this cartilage is known as mesentymoid. Mesentymoid. you can see in the figure, wait, just wait, yes, this is with the red arrow, this is the opening of nasal chamber. Here you can see it is divided into three partition: the middle portion, the superior portion, and the inferior portion, you can see. And then it will enter into the pharynx portion. Here, this is the pharynx portion. Here, lower this one, yes, with the red arrow. So this is the structure of nostril and nasal chamber. Yes, yes. Each nasal chamber is divided into three main portion. Each nasal chamber, or you can say each nasal chamber, contain three main regions: vestibule portion, respiratory portion, or sensory part, or you can call this is olfactory part also. The vestibule part is the anteriormost portion. The vestibule part is the anteriormost portion of the nasal chamber. Nasal chamber anteriormost portion is known as vestibular part, and vestibular part has here to trap the dust particle. And then the respiratory part contain capillaries, and this respiratory part warms the air, and this respiratory part of nasal chamber also makes the air moist. Then the sensory part is lined with the sensory epithelium, and this sensory part help for the detection of smell. So these are the main three reasons: vestibular part, the respiratory part, and the sensory part. I'm again repeating this slide. Vestibular part helps for you can say trapping the dust particle. Respiratory part mainly deals with warming the air and make the air moist. And then the sensory part detects the smell. The fragrance or the smell is detected by the sensory part of the nasal chamber. Then yes, next is pharynx. Next is pharynx. Nasal chamber open into pharynx portion. Yes, it is mentioned in the first point. Nasal chamber open into the pharynx. Pharynx is short, vertical tube, and the length of the pharynx is near about 12 centimeter. And pharynx is the common passage for food and air. Pharynx is the common passage for food and air. So the respiratory and the food passage cross each other in the portion known as pharynx. And the upper part of pharynx is known as nasopharynx, which help in the conduction of air, and the lower part is known as laryngopharynx or oropharynx. Means in laryngopharynx or oropharynx, food conduction will take place. I am again repeating. Pharynx contain two part, upper part and lower part. Upper part is known as nasopharynx and lower part is known as laryngopharynx. Nasopharynx help in the conduction of air, whereas the lower part help in the, you can say, conduction of food. In the pharynx, there are tonsils are also present, and tonsils are made up of lymphatic tissues. I think you remember about lymphatic system in the 10th class, where the conduction of heart is given. So lymphatic tissues combine to form tonsils, and these tonsils help to kill the bacteria or trap in the mucus. So you can see here I'm highlighting, this is the oropharynx part in the figure, and below oropharynx there is a portion known as laryngopharynx. So these are two portions of pharynx. And next, upper portion of oropharynx, you can see I'm again underlining this, highlighting this nasopharynx is the portion which help in the conduction of air. So next, yes, Next is larynx. Next is larynx. Larynx is the sound producing organ. Larynx is the sound producing organ, or you can say larynx is the sound box of human. In male, larynx are more prominent, or larynx size increases in male at the time of puberty, and the increase in the larynx size can be termed as Adam's apple, and this Adam apple can be noticed in the neck region in males only. And from the pharynx, yes, second point we covered. Next, third point, from the pharynx, air enter into the larynx through an opening known as glottis, and the glottis is covered or guarded by a flap-like structure known as epiglottis. Glottis is guarded by a flap-like structure known as epiglottis, and this epiglottis prevent the entry of food into the respiratory passage. This epiglottis, you must remember. And along the sides of glottis, along the sides of glottis, there are two folds known as vocal cords, and these vocal cords will responsible for the production of a sound. All the sound is produced by the vocal cords. You can see in the figure, this is the vocal cord area, this is larynx portion, this is epiglottis portion. I am highlighting this portion also. You can see easily in this slide figure. So this is about the larynx. Next, yes, next is trachea. Trachea is known as windpipe. Trachea is known as windpipe. It is about 12 centimeter long. It is about 2.5 centimeter in width. It lies in the front of esophagus. Means trachea is the location of trachea is in the front of esophagus, and this trachea will run downwards into the neck, and the wall of the trachea is made up of cartilage, and the wall of the trachea is made up of cartilage. Cartilages are shaped structure. There are 16 to 20 cartilage, and this cartilage will make the trachea rigid. Rigid means hard. The trachea is internally lined with the ciliated epithelium and mucus gland. Means in internal portion, trachea contain mucus gland and ciliated epithelium layer. If any foreign particle enter, if any foreign particle enter into the trachea, then coughing will take place in our body. Sometimes, if the you can say if dust particle enter in our trachea, then we start coughing. So coughing is the mechanism, or coughing is the action by which you can say foreign particle is immediately expelled from our body. Our dust get trapped into the mucus portion, and this dust is removed by ciliary movement. Slowly ciliary movement remove the you can say dust particle, and this dust particle will move towards the esophagus portion, and through esophagus the dust particle will enter into the stomach portion. So this is all about in second part. We cover about the you can say external layer, internal layer, nasal chamber, then trachea, larynx, pharynx portion. So thank you.